Okay. Hello, guys. I'm Augusto Hunter from Headbangers, Brazil, and I have a pleasure to be talking to Lena Abe, the best player from my dying bride. Lena, thank you again for your time.
Thank you for having me.
Be welcome. Let me start to ask you because I was researching about you and I saw that you started playing some guitars and bass when you were 10-year old.
Mm.
How it was for you? How it came for you?
So I come from a family who play a lot of music. So my dad's been a musician his whole life. It's how my parents met. He was a musician. She worked in a bar. So I've always been around music. I grew up watching my dad play his bass and his keyboards and guitar. And after time, you think, oh, teach me how to do that. He had he had a white Washburn, very 80s looking bass, and I remember watching him play it, and it was just so fluid, and to me it was just magic, and I was like, just teach me how to do that, please. So yeah, so that Christmas, I got a guitar, and yeah, the rest is history, really. Here we are.
The rest of history, and here you are now. And you are 18 years. From
Mm.
18 years, you're the best player for my dying bride. Uh, how it is for you to be a woman playing bass on the most important bands of doom metal in the world?
Mm. Well, how is it to be a woman? The same as it is for a guy. There's just not as many of us. I don't quite know why that is. Obviously just as capable, but for some reason there's just not as many women. More women should definitely be more involved because it's a great thing to be a part of. It really is. So if there's any girls out there thinking about it, just pick something up, start playing, and see where it takes you.
Yeah. But I'm asking this because uh, you know that metal always have been a male world, no?
Mm,
And 18 years ago, it was different,
mm,
right?
mm,
That's why I'm asking this. So
mm,
do you think that your your participation in your you being on my dying bride
mm.
has made some difference into England or into the world? Do you think that you being there showing strength on the stage has been a part to some girl looking at you say, yes, I want to do this?
I think so. I mean, when we've done meet and greets, I've had girls come to me and say, "You're an inspiration," which is wonderful, but it shouldn't be that way, and
Yes,
there should be more girls, full stop. But it's a wonderful
yes,
thing. The more girls that do it, that the more I think they'll see it and feel, okay, well, that's something I could be a part of. However, it's not just music. I mean, for example, at the gym as well, there's more girls lifting heavy weights now than there ever was before. I think just generally speaking, women are branching out into things that were more typically male dominated. We're just getting
yes,
comfortable, you know.
yes,
We enjoy
yes.
it too. These things are wonderful things to be a part of. They really are.
Yeah. I'm asking this because here in Brazil, it's becoming quite normal to see women in stage. But I
Mm.
don't know in Europe. I don't know in England, for example, because we know that England is a metal. It's a metal cradle.
Mm.
It's where everything started. That's why I asked you about it. But
Mm.
it's good to listen to saying that. Yeah, it can be a possibly part of inspiration. But yes, it had to be more normal.
Yeah, I would love it to be more normal. I think that there are more women around generally. Just this weekend I went to go see four bands, and there was a girl in every single one of them, and I think it's great.
Yes. And now we recorded a participation on a band called Spiine, and that song
Mm.
is so incredible. How it was for you to record it, and how it was to be invited to do it.
Okay, so I've known Seska from Virgin Black for a long, long time, and I knew she had a project underway with Zen, and she sent me like a demo version, and I said, well, I can probably play some bass on that if you like. So it wasn't as much as an invite, it was more me forcing my way into the project because it's something I really wanted to contribute to. Apart from Seska being a really good friend, the music is just incredible. I mean, why wouldn't I want to be a
Yes.
part of that? It's one thing to listen to it, but to write something to it is a completely different thing altogether. And
Yes.
it's without a doubt, Spine is the hardest project I've ever undertaken. It was
Oh,
difficult. It was difficult. I mean, these songs are long and sprawling. The on the surface, they're fairly simplistic in that it's not like we're not talking power metal with a lot of shredding and stuff. It's simple in that respect. However, the scope of what you could do with it is so vast. It's like, where do I even start with this kind of undertaking? And also, I suppose the pressure as well, because I didn't want to let it down, because when I got it, it was good.
No.
Let's not ruin it.
That's my name, man. Come on. Yeah. And that's cool to hear because the songs that I listened to was awesome, man. Awesome. And your bass line is incredible, and
Thank you.
and they are fulfilling a lot of feelings. What do you felt recording it?
Well, when I was recording it, you just locked into recording, okay? Because you're just thinking numbers, you're just thinking to be on time.
Yes.
The writing process was different. Seska's music is incredibly emotive, and I've always found that with all the Virgin Black back catalogue, it's hugely emotive. It speaks to me massively. It's all very emotional, and Spiine is no different in the way that it affects me. So I found that the writing process, not just difficult from a creative point of view, but it's a difficult listen in that the songs are long, they're like 15 minutes long, that they're not simple songs. And the emotion that it draws from you as well, along with Zen's vocals, it was all just a very, very complex, although very enjoyable, still a very complex process, very emotional.
Nice, yes. Cool. That's very, very, very cool. But do you think that was different from My Dying Bride? Because the feelings that I got listening to the Spiine songs and trying to link within My Dying Bride was really different, but almost complex. Do you think that it's right to say that this complexity between both bands, it would be it was richer for you?
I would, yeah. So I wouldn't want to do anything easy, there's no challenge in that. There's no creativity if it's easy. I mean, it's fun, but it's not satisfying. So with MDB, things are slightly different in that I'm much more involved in the writing process, whereas with Spiine, everything was already written and I was just doing some bass to what was already there. So it's a slightly different process. But the two are massively enjoyable. I mean, obviously, I love writing for My Dying Bride. I've done it for 18 years now. For Spiine, just if Seska decides to do something else, Seska and Zen, sorry, then I'd love to be a part of that too. As complex as it is, then it's just so satisfying and very fulfilling to be part of something like that, especially with people who are so talented.
Yes. Let's talk about My Dying Bride, because I am the one who loves your band, who loves My Dying Bride a lot. And I was on your only show here in Latin America in Rio de Janeiro, 2013. I was there. I don't know if you recall me, but we chat a lot to the backstage.
Yeah. I remember.
You remember?
Yeah.
But how it is for you, how it was for you to get into My Dying Bride, and how can you explain to us when you enter in the band and nowadays 18 years after this, can you draw some line? Can you say how it was the history for you during the bass line for My Dying Bride?
Yeah. So when I first joined, I hadn't been on a band of this scale, nowhere near, just local bands. So it was a huge step up. But in hindsight, when I joined the band, there was a lot of just small town mentality in the head. I hadn't stepped up in my mind, and it took a few years for me to really drag myself up to the standard that I think that I should really have been at a lot sooner. But that just comes with maturity. I mean, I was about 24, I think, when I joined MDB, 25, something like that. So that's still pretty young. And I just don't think I was as prepared as I really should have been. But that can only come with time. I mean, nothing can prepare you to be just picked up and then be put in a band like that. You just have to live the experience and then find your feet and be, okay, well, this is how I need to be. This is what I need to do. This is my role. It takes a long time to figure all that out. So over the years, I'm much more comfortable now. Before, I was probably trying way harder than I needed to be trying. I just needed to relax and just be creative and be myself. and probably not put as much pressure on myself. And I would kind of hold back quite a lot in the early days in terms of what I would give to the band musically, just for fear of these well-established musicians, you know, and the status that they have. I was like, well, I should be just letting them do everything. I shouldn't be contributing as much. But now I can contribute a little bit more, and it should have really been that a lot sooner. But like I say, that's just down to experience. So I think in hindsight, I'm hugely different now compared to when I first joined. But then, you know, it's been 18 years. Everyone develops over time, you know. There's a lot to learn. There's a lot to learn.
It's alive. It's alive.
For sure.
Yeah. Back then, when you were touring with those guys, do you sing or can you recall or remember some prejudice scene that you lived or that you were involved in the backstage or even in the stage within Right and Right, or no, it was always cool?
It was always cool. I don't recall any major incidents or anything like that. Everything was just, you just kind of along for the ride to a degree. You just get swept along with it, and you just go with what's happening. You know, you just have to react to stuff. And in the early days, everything's new, so you don't know what you're doing. You're just kind of doing what you think is right at the time.
Yes, and you've done it very well. And you released a moral binding, and now you are on a phase. Let's put it on this way. And in this phase, do you have the time to think and said, "Holy shit, I wrote a history here"? And when you realize it, how was the feeling for you?
So it's always a strange feeling. I don't view it as like writing history. I see it more as creating something that is going to exist.
Yes.
Forever. And it's always a strange feeling, I suppose, much like an artist who does a painting. Once it's out there, it's out there forever. And it's really quite a strange feeling to have. It's like some kind of legacy, you know, because it has impacts, you know, it impacts people. And it's difficult because when you view yourself as like this regular human. You go and you buy your bread and your milk, and you think, oh, I also do this thing that impacts so many people. It means a lot to these people. It's a weird kind of disconnect that even now I still don't fully grasp how much how much it affects people.
Yes. And coming back to 2013, when I saw you here in Rio, I do recall that it was a huge line to be talking to all of you. And I do remember that you were looking to the guys from the band and saying, "What the heck? Look at all those people, man." And what was your feeling over there? Can you recall it?
It was overwhelming. It was overwhelming. A totally different crowd to what I'm used to in Europe, where we would usually have our concerts. The crowd was just crazy. The reaction was just crazy. But whenever we post anything on our social media, the comments are always, "Come to Brazil, just come to Brazil." You know, and then you go there, and the fans were just crazy. They were just so enthusiastic, and it was just wonderful to see. But also, it's difficult to understand, like, how, you know. It's just a strange feeling. It's wonderful. I mean, the Brazilian crowds are just, well, one of the best. Hopefully we can come back. I would love to come back. Well, we all would.
Oh man, you gotta come back, because this one was the only one that it was for me as a fan, and then even as a guy who works on the musical journalism. It was overwhelming because it was a concert so full of feelings and full of, how can I explain? How could I say it to you? It was, you were giving your life and your souls in the stage, and we were receiving it. And I remember a lot of guys crying and saying, "Man, I'm leaving it." And I recall to see you on the stage looking at all those fans saying, "Holy shit, I never imagined that." No. and it was incredible. It was magical. But uh, you know that I'm doing this because March 8th would be the Women International Day, and I chose you because you are a strong woman and you are a very talented bass player. And yes, in the start we talk about the need and the presence of the girls on the stage. Do you think that in England it need more women in the stage, or do you think that this thing is changing?
It's difficult. I mean, I wouldn't want more women on the stage if the quality wasn't good. Do you know what I mean? Like, I want more women, but only if they're up to scratch. Only if they're good at what they do. I wouldn't want more women for the sake of having more women, because there's no point in that. You know, get good, practice, and get good. I mean, that's the only way you're going to get there. I mean, I would absolutely hate to think that any woman has been hired or been taken on into a band just because they were female, because that's shitty.
I got it.
Hire someone because they're the right person for the job. Yeah. So like, women, just get good. You know, there's nothing to be scared of. You know, there's nothing to be worried about. Just get good. Go for those typical guy roles. You know, just do it.
Yes. Yeah. So one message that we can say to the girls around the world is study, practice.
Yeah. Work. Put the effort in, girls. Come on.
work as hell, right?
Yeah.
Nice. Like I've told you, here in Brazil it's normal, but do you know some Brazilian bands, some female fronted Brazilian bands that you like?
Off the top of my head, I'm going to say no. I probably do know them, but I just don't. I just listen to the music. I don't research where the bands are from, you know. So I probably will.
Yeah.
If you could name 5, and I'll probably go, oh yeah, of course it's them. But I don't research the bands and, you know, their histories and things like that.
I know, but do you like Brazilian music or something like it?
Brazilian music, I don't really know much about it, to be honest.
No. Okay, that's normal. That's okay. That's cool.
Will you tell me something about it? Tell me something about it. So, for example, my dad really likes a lot of the Latin music. He plays in Latin bands. So is it like,
cool.
So what kind of music is Brazilian music? Bossa Nova, samba?
I can say samba and bossa nova. No?
You know, I don't get the time signatures. I don't get it. It makes no sense. I need 4/4.
Always rock and metal for you.
Yes.
So if you want to, I will say 2 bands, Nervosa and Crypta.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, I've seen them. Yeah. They're great. They're brilliant.
They're great.
Yeah, really good.
Yeah. Okay. No, I don't know. I will open the letter for you. What can you say to all those girls around the world before just work hard and study and practice? What can you say to them to get protected on the road, in the stage?
That's a tough one. I think that the only way you can really protect yourself is to be with people who you trust. Doesn't matter if they're male or female, as long as you're with people that you trust, that's going to be the key thing. Because even if it's like an all male band, you have to look out for each other to a degree. You know, I mean, you're friends and you're together. If you're in a situation, something could happen, you're going to be looking out for your friends. So it's more about just looking out for your friends than it is being male, female specific, in my view anyway. So it's common sense as well. So I wouldn't do anything stupid. I wouldn't place myself in unnecessary risks. So it's just being a bit cautious, a bit careful. But I think that goes for male or female.
Okay, but I can take it. Thanks a lot. And Lena, I will not take more of your time. Thanks a lot.
Thank you for having me. I've enjoyed our chat.
And red carpet for you. Tonight's a night of Oscar. Let me ask this. Tonight's an Oscar night. What do you think about the scene nowadays about the Oscar? Do you like cinema?
The cinema, do you know, not really, because that's kind of classed as going out, and I'm a staying in kind of girl. I'll wait for it to come on Netflix or something.
Okay. I'm from Brazil. I'm cheering for. I'm still here, and Fernanda Torres as a best actress. So
Okay.
Okay? Please send a message to all the women around the world. That's your
Women,
time.
okay,
Thanks a
women,
lot.
you're fantastic. You can do it. If you love it, you want to try it, just give it a go. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain.
Guys, this is Lena Abe. Lena, kisses. Thanks a lot for your time, okay?
Thank you.
Keep metal. Keep metal. And please come back to Brazil. Please come back to
I'll put
Brazil.
a word in.
We miss you a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Cheers. Bye.